I'm going to share with you the top 6 most affordable pieces of workout equipment that anyone who primarily works out at home should own. If you're new to the channel, I'm Alex, and if you're interested in seeing more at-home and on-the-go fitness and nutrition content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get started. These will get you the biggest bang for your buck and get you the best results in the shortest time. And make sure to stick around till the end where I'm going to be sharing my recommended pick if you only had to get one of these. We'll be starting off with resistance bands. Resistance bands are a great tool for taking your joints through their full range of motion before a workout. These have been especially helpful in maintaining and improving my shoulder mobility, which is absolutely crucial if you plan on doing pretty much any kind of upper body work. Using these bands for only 5 minutes before your workout can do wonders for injury prevention. Coming from someone who's experienced several overuse injuries at the shoulder, do not underestimate the importance of a proper warm-up. You can also use them to strengthen your connective tissues by adding some high-volume band work either at the end of your workouts or on your off days as a form of prehabilitation. This will strengthen your tendons and ligaments and make them less prone to overuse injuries. So definitely try to incorporate it into your routine at least a couple times a week. They come with a bunch of different resistances that are useful for different forms of exercise. I've seen bands that are fully lengthened with resistances ranging from 10 pounds to over 200 pounds. The lighter ones are usually used for warming up, mobility training, and strengthening your connective tissue. Meanwhile, the heavier bands are geared more towards serious weightlifters that are trying to incorporate accommodating resistance into their workouts and increase the difficulty of their major compound movements. Depending on your goals, you'll benefit from different types of resistance bands. Personally, I own bands that range from 30 pounds to 100 pounds, but only ever really use the 30 and 50 pound ones since those are the ones that I use majority for warming up, mobility training, and strengthening connective tissue. While we're still on the theme of warming up and prehabilitation, elastic tubing is another one of my favorite go-tos more geared toward rehabbing injuries. Realistically, you can use either resistance bands or elastic tubing for both, but one of the major advantages of elastic tubing is that it often comes with a door mount. This makes it a lot easier to mount anywhere than a resistance band, which can only be set up wherever you can find a thin and stable surface. It also comes with a set of handles that makes it a lot easier to grip than resistance bands, which can force your wrist into some pretty awkward positions depending on the movement that you're trying to do. I usually combine elastic tubing with resistance bands for the majority of my rehab work. Next is the pull-up bar. This is going to be your bread and butter for pretty much all of your pulling movements, even if you're not able to do a full pull-up yet. The 3 most common types are wall-mounted, door-frame mounted, and telescoping bars. I've been using a door-frame mounted pull-up bar for many years and find that it's a happy medium between the wall-mounted and telescoping versions. Wall-mounted bars offer a lot more safety and stability because they're literally drilled into the wall or the door frame. If you drill it into your door, this unfortunately makes it so that it can never close. It's also not portable in the event that you want to take it down and mount it elsewhere. If you don't plan on transporting the bar places or moving anytime soon, the wall-mounted pull-up bar is your best bet, since it won't budge regardless of which types of exercises you're doing. If you're like me who travels frequently and likes to keep the pull-up bar with me everywhere I go, you may want to consider getting a door frame mounted bar instead. You can set it up and take it down at a moment's notice. The main disadvantage I've noticed with the door frame mounted bar is the lack of stability in certain planes of motion. For example, whenever I try specific types of pulling movements with either bands or tubing attached to the bar, it'll rock the bar forward and run the risk of it falling from the door frame. But for most pulling movements, I've found that the door frame mounted bar does a pretty good job. And then there's the telescoping bar. These are made to extend into the door frame and made to be held up through friction alone. Personally, I'd never go for one of these just because I already have a set of shower curtains that keep falling and they're held up by a telescoping bar. I can't imagine that they'd be able to support my body weight. Personally, I wouldn't recommend getting one of these unless you're prepared for this to happen. Next up, we have the jump rope. This is often the first piece of equipment that I break out for my warm-up even before my resistance bands. A minute or 2 of jump rope does wonders for your blood flow and preparing your joints and muscles for a workout. You can also use it if you're trying to incorporate a lot more cardio work into your strength training workouts. You can do this by mixing a minute or 2 of jump rope in between your sets during your workout. This will keep your heart rate elevated and improve your cardiovascular conditioning. And if you're looking to drop a few pounds of body fat, jumping rope is probably one of the best calorie burning exercises out there. You can easily burn a few hundred calories in less than 20 minutes of jumping rope. So if you're looking for that extra calorie burn, a jump rope is the thing for you. I hold this next piece very near and dear to my heart, and that is a set of gymnastics rings. In fact, I made a full video detailing all of the benefits of using gymnastics rings here, so make sure to check that out. In terms of portability and versatility, gymnastics rings probably take the cake because they're easy to transport and you can use them for a wide variety of exercises from beginner all the way to advanced level. They're always in my backpack regardless of whether I'm heading to the gym or the park because they can be set up virtually anywhere, as long as you have something to suspend them from. Unlike a pull-up bar, because of their adjustable height, you can use them for both vertical and horizontal pulling movements, like pull-ups and rows. They're also great for strengthening your core and stabilize your muscles because they create an unstable surface that forces you to engage them. The only real disadvantage I'd really give to gymnastics rings is that you need a stable surface to suspend them from. Otherwise, they're a pretty incredible piece of equipment that I'd recommend for anyone. And finally, we have the weighted vest. This is probably one of the best pieces of workout equipment I've ever invested in. It allows you to progressively add resistance to pretty much any body weight exercise you'd like. I'm talking push-ups, pull-ups, squats, lunges, and pretty much anything else you can think of. As someone who's been a big proponent of at-home bodyweight workouts for a long time, this one by far has given me the greatest return on investment. Depending on the vest you choose, these can vary in weights from anywhere between 10 and 150 pounds. The one that I have goes up to 50 pounds and the weights increase in increments of 4 pounds at a time. Adding weight is as easy as opening up the pouches in front and back of the vest and adding one sandbag at a time. And don't feel restricted to only using it for strength training. I've found that this piece of equipment is especially helpful in increasing the difficulty of my runs. The thing about running with a weighted vest though is that you need to be a lot more careful with how much weight you're using. To avoid placing too much strain on your joints, you're best off not adding more than 10% of your body weight. For someone like me that weighs around 165 pounds, that means that I wouldn't be exceeding 17 pounds on my runs. You do have a little bit more leeway in the weight that you load on for strength training exercises though, as long as you're properly warmed up. Now, as promised, my favorite and most recommended piece. If I had to get just one of these, I'd have to get gymnastics rings. This is based mostly off their portability and versatility. They're easy to carry everywhere with you and can be used to target pretty much every muscle group in one way or another. So if you're looking for a great multi-purpose set of gymnastics rings, make sure to get a pair over at the link in the description below. Let me know in the comment section below which of these pieces of workout equipment you love the most, and check out this video here for a complete guide on how to use gymnastics rings.